They had been smelling smoke for days, but neither Michigan State University's Dairy Cattle Teaching and Research Center employees nor the local fire department could sniff out the source. It wasn't until Saturday evening that the flames erupted near the feed barn.
Saw some smoke when I was about finished with my feeding, and I came back to see what it was, and I saw that the barn was on fire, and I saw the flames coming out of the barn door. So I immediately stopped because I was in a gator and slammed on the brakes in my gator and jumped out and called 911. And then I ran down to go get my coworkers because they were about to start milking cows.
Tunison's quick thinking likely saved the lives of both livestock and staff on May 15th.
After I knew that our student employee, Ann, had the fire department notified and where I could hear the sirens in the background, she had me on FaceTime. And we got the other employees out of the barns. We got all the cows out of the milking parlor because I was a little unclear as to how the electrical would impact some of that, and I didn't want anybody exposed to any kind of electricity problems or anything. And then once we found out that the facility was clear, after about an hour, actually, we were able to start right back and start milking, and pretty much everything stayed on schedule through the next, through that night. The next morning, everybody got up, and because this was kind of a localized fire, pretty much it was business as usual the next day. Yeah, this was extreme tragedy, but fortunately it was contained. Somehow there was a little bit of wind that day and the embers really didn't blow over and get anything else on fire. It could have been a real super big tragedy had some of the other barns where the livestock were housed. It could have been detrimental to people and livestock both. There was numerous fire departments out here. When they reacted, they were able to contain the fire just to the one area. All the other barns were spared. This will impact our daily operations quite a bit. We used it not only for feed storage, we did use some of the silos for storage. Some have been set empty just because of they were in need of maintenance and quite old and a little bit inefficient, so some of the facilities won't impact us much, but there are some impact of some of these silos that were in use. Fortunately, at the MSU Dairy Farm, we always plan for about 6 months of carryover of feed inventories. And so we've got, even though we lost some feed out of this, we'll still have quite a bit of buffer.
Student employees have spent the days after the fire monitoring the silos for flare-ups.
A lot of them have kind of staged 2-hour shifts throughout the night of watching for flare-ups. We have a hose out here. The fire department has been real good about coming out too. So yeah, we're continuing to monitor that. I think we've now have just about all of the little small piles of feed spread out to where there shouldn't be any more flare-ups, but again, we'll continue to monitor it. And we just recently had an excavation company out here that's actually had a lot of experience in taking down silos, and so once it's approved by the engineers and everything here at Michigan State University, we'll probably be removing most of the silos. Most of them have been jeopardized as far as the concrete. Concrete got heated pretty bad on some of them, so there's a little bit of a safety risk here, and so we'll be hopefully here within the next month or so, we'll be getting a lot of these silos taken down.
It is believed an electrical issue caused the fire.